Hello, I am the Archivist, and welcome back to the Archives and to Mansions of Madness, The Lost Chronicles. We will be beginning the new year in your world at least, with an investigation into the occult and the paranormal. As usual, except that this time it is no malevolent conspiracy, nor eldritch evil, but a simple force of nature, but a sinister one none the less. Let us meet the investigators who will be joining us on this investigation. Hello, investigators, and welcome back to the Archives. Would you all care to introduce yourselves from left to right?
Sure. My name is Tomer. I will play as Agatha Crane, an old but wise lady. And just to remind you, after I resolve a horror check, I gain 1 clue.
Marvelous.
Hi, I'm Pastor Monkey. I'm playing Agnes Baker, and I start with a spell.
Very helpful. So we have an investigator who is late today. I think I'd be taking personally, of course, next.
Hi, my name is Caro, and I'm gonna play Wilson Richard. My special ability, after I resolve an horror check, I become focus.
Very good. And Raffia.
Yeah. So I'm Rafia, and I am playing Jenny Barnes. I have a pistol and some fast running shoes, and hopefully I'm going to shoot some stuff today.
An excellent attitude to have when facing the occult, I generally find. Now, do tread carefully tonight, investigators. After all, this is a matter of blood. Overlooking Arkham from atop a dry, desolate hill sits the Sutcliffe Manor. Once a powerful and influential family in Arkham, the Sutcliffes have long since fallen into obscurity and ruin. Among the handful of people in Arkham who are still familiar with the name is a band of investigators hired to visit the house, of which you are a member. A few days ago, you were contacted by a woman named Amanda Lockwood, formerly Amanda Sutcliffe, who recently divorced the head of the Sutcliffe household, Winston Sutcliffe, and moved to her family home in Boston, for reasons which, against your recommendation, she declined to share with you. My son, Charlie, he chose not to leave with me. Instead, I've been receiving weekly letters from him and my ex-husband, letting me know how they're doing, Mrs. Lockwood told you over the phone. Last week's letter was slightly off, like something was bothering Winston. I didn't think much of it until this week's letter didn't arrive. I called the house, but no one replied. I'm worried about my son. Making house calls is a poor use of your investigative skills, but for what Mrs. Lockwood is willing to pay you for news of her son, you're not about to complain. Busy as you were with more pressing cases, you weren't able to visit the house until nightfall. A chill winter wind compels you to grip your coat tightly, and you feel the occasional drip of icy rain heralding an oncoming storm. Place the yard 2 and graveyard 2. Let's see. Just there. Yeah. Place your investigators here. The house looms over you. On the ancient door, a bronze knocker in the shape of an eagle's head invites you to announce your presence. Beyond the path that led you to the front door is the ominous sight of an open grave in the family graveyard. Investigators, it is now the first investigator phase. Who would like to go first?
I have a free explore.
Yes, I believe one of you has the otherworldly compass.
Yep.
Yes. If you don't mind, I can use my compass to explore for free. This one?
Very well. You can see no lights on inside the house. This job may require more legwork than you anticipated. As an action, you may either knock or open the door.
Hmm.
Of course, this is a free action either way.
Yeah, let's knock. Knock, knock.
Very well. You reach for the door, but as you do, it swings open on its own with an ear-splitting screech of rusted hinges. You can't be certain, but over the din you thought you heard the distant sound of a child's laughter. The house's foyer is fitting of the Sutcliffe family's reputation in that it is lavish and grand, but ill-kept. A thin layer of dust covers most surfaces, and the handful of plant pots in sight house only dried-out husks. Placing the lobby tile and a wall. See, there we are. A telephone sits on a table in the middle of the lobby. On the opposite wall is a large painting of the Sutcliffe family in an elaborate frame. The mystery of what happened to Mr. Sutcliffe solves itself quickly. His body lies at the bottom of the stairs, his head in a small pool of his own blood. Even from the doorway, one whiff instantly tells you that he's been dead for at least a few days. Mr. Sutcliffe's hand still limply grasps a bottle of whiskey. Five doors lead deeper into the manor. You may move one space into the explored area.
Do so.
Very well. Ms. Crane, your first action, please.
Put up to face down horror. Do you want to pick it up? Yeah, I'm an old lady. I can deal with some whiskey. I'll pick up the whiskey.
Very well.
And there we go. And I'll search. What was on top of the table?
A telephone.
Okay. No, I'll search the body.
Very well. Sutcliffe's corpse lies at the bottom of the stairs. While you're fairly confident you know how he died, you're hopeful his body will offer some clues of what became of his son. You're searching as an action. It seems like Sutcliffe was in rough shape even before he began to decompose. His clothes are shabby and soiled. His face is badly unshaven. It seems like Sutcliffe was handling his divorce poorly. You hope Charlie didn't suffer as a result, but his failure to answer his mother's call suggests otherwise. Remove this search token and gain one clue. Next, Investigator, please. Anyone may feel free to chime in on Vistalgia's behalf in controlling Mr. Anderson. Do remember that when he moves, one other investigator may move one space as well.
I'm happy to go next if nobody wants to. I'll go 1, 2, and look
So
at.
do you want?
Yeah.
Sorry. So do you want us to collectively maybe choose to Acolyte said to first move with Leo Anderson, so he will also move yourself. You get what I mean?
Mr. Anderson does have a cooperative ability, which only works if he is not moved last. Well, can still be useful, but not quite as much.
We can move Leo first, and then move you as well, so it will take you one action left, maybe?
Perhaps it would be easier if I were to nominate someone to control Vistalgia's Mr. Anderson. Shall we say Pastor Monkey, since you are adjacent to Mr. Anderson, you can control him until Vistalgia arrives. Shall take your silence as a yes.
Sorry, I forgot I was on mute. There's a bit of noise in my background, so let's try. Okay, so Leo will go 1, 2. and that will move. I'll move Agnes, and then for a second action, I will look at the painting. If that's okay.
Very well, the painting is of Sutcliffe, Winston Sutcliffe, Amanda Lockwood, and their son Charlie. Perhaps the way they were portrayed will tell you more about the family. Mr. Sutcliffe's expression in the painting is far more grim and stoic than that of his family members. You can't tell if his expression is one of fear or malice. Gain 1 clue, remove this search token. Next, investigator, please.
Sorry, I'd mute my phone. All the people were here. Okay. Well, Rafi, did you do this scenario yet? No.
I haven't the foggiest idea what's going on, but it's going to happen, so no.
Okay, I'm gonna go inspect the open grave.
Very well, you never understood the desire rich people have to bury their loved ones a stone's throw away from where they have breakfast. They are searching as an action. Based on the muddiness of the surrounding tools and the lack of any distinct footprints, you deduce this grave was dug some time ago. It seems safe to assume its intended occupant ultimately came to rest elsewhere. You scarcely want to think about the series of events that could cause a grave to be abandoned. Gain 1 clue, remove this search token. Ms. Baker, Ms. Barnes, your turn.
I was thinking I might explore one of these two. So, do you want me to go before you, and then you can see if you want to move in there or stay in this area? Does that make sense?
I'm going to kind of stay last, I think,
Yeah.
because, well, of my running shoes, and I'm just going to kill stuff, so, yeah.
Very well. Ms. Baker, then.
I'll explore to the left, if that's okay.
I assume so. A door leads deeper into the manor. You reveal a small billiards room. Place the billiards room tile as indicated. A large keyring bearing a number of keys sits on the bar. One of the light bulbs in the room is flickering sporadically. You may move 1 space into the explored area.
I will do that, and then for my second action, I will pick up the keys.
Very well then.
Investigate the keys.
Yes. A large metal keyring with several keys lies on the bar. One of the many keys on this chain, only one has both a legible tag and an undented head. The key is for Charlie's room. Gain the brass key unique item. With the key in hand, the thought has barely crossed your mind to leave the billiards room when the door slams shut behind you, despite there being no windows in the room, nor the faintest gust of wind. Placing an explore token back on this doorway to indicate it has slammed shut. And Ms. Barnes.
You fucked, bro.
So it would seem.
Okay. 1, 2, explore.
The doors at the top of the stairs lead to the back of the upper floor, presumably towards the bedrooms if nothing else. The door opens into a long hallway. Place a series of tiles. The bathroom, the hall 2, and the hall corner 1. Now let's see. One goes there. This one goes over there. There we are. A table in the corner has been knocked over, likely by Mr. Sutcliffe during his drunken blundering. There's a chance of finding something useful amongst the objects cast to the floor. A few papers sit on an end table to your left. This door is emblazoned with a wooden plaque which reads Charlie. An axe has been brutally embedded in this door. This represents the door. This search token represents the axe. Three more unmarked doors can be found in this hallway. You may move one space into the explored area.
Okie dokie.
And since you possess the track shoes, you have one remaining movement space.
Yeah.
What was this again?
That was
October table with probable interest.
Correct. Well then, with that, we have come to our first Mythos phase. A gust of icy wind bombards the front of the mansion. Any investigators outside are almost blown clean off their feet and stagger blindly, helplessly towards the manor, towards the front door, which slams shut behind you. Correct. And the outside tiles have now been removed. It is the second investigator phase.
Well, darn.
Wilson, do you want me to explore to the right so you can choose to see what's there?
Yeah, sure.
That seems like a
I'll
good idea.
go last.
Okay, so Agatha will use her free action to explore to the right.
Well then, the door leads to the eastern wing of the Oh, I beg your pardon. Oh, Agnes was exploring, was she?
No, Agatha.
Ah, well, I'm not certain why we've removed this explore token then. Agatha.
But wasn't
Well, there's
Agnes
Agnes.
didn't explore already?
Yes, but as you'll recall, the door slammed shut behind her
Yeah.
again when she picked up the keys.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, Agatha is exploring eastwards. The room opens into a spacious dining room. You can smell dry ingredients such as salt and flour, but don't sense that any food has been prepared recently. Placing the dining room. Which reminds me, I'm afraid I've neglected to place a wall here. Most of the chairs are tucked under the table, but not entirely, almost as though invisible people sit at them, partaking in an invisible meal. One chair sits perpendicular with the table, as though awaiting an occupant. On a chopping board in the kitchen is something you could use, although you hope you won't need to. Replacing the knife, common item. Across the table, another door leads further into the mansion. A sturdy metal door behind the kitchen presumably leads to a wine cellar. You may move one space into the explored area.
Well, and I will check if there is any indication of what this chair is.
The chair isn't tucked in, as it's been reserved for you. You may sit in the chair as an action. I'll take that as a yes. You
Yes.
take a seat at the table and are immediately overcome by an intense presence. Looking around at the other chairs, you're stricken by an inexplicable terror and anxiety, as though you are surrounded by people you fear or distrust. So for one face-down horror, will negates.
Okay. Well.
Very well. You may also gain one clue and, of course, remove this search token. Your second action, please, Ms. Crane.
Well, I'm getting the heck out of here. Let's move towards here, the kitchen.
Excellent. Next, investigator, please.
Probably Leo should move next, because I think if he moves somebody, if Leo moves Jenny, do you want me to move you on, the person playing Jenny, if I can move you, or are you going to investigate the knock table, do you think?
Ms. Barnes?
I'll just move Leo if that's okay. So I'll move him 1, 2. I'm guessing Jenny wants to do the table, so I'll just move Agnes to there. And then for my second action, can I investigate the table?
Very well. A handful of papers litter the end table, hopefully containing some useful information. You sigh as you realise the papers are nothing more than children's drawings. You're about to put them back when you realise they might still contain useful information. The drawings are mostly of Charlie and his mother. His father is in relatively few of them. It's clear Amanda is Charlie's favourite parent. Still, it's not unheard of for children in Charlie's situation to go against such a preference for the sake of staying in their home. Gain 1 clue, remove this search token. Next, investigator, please.
Quick question about this door. Can we open it again to free Agnes?
Yes, it must be opened again as an action. I should let you know there are different outcomes depending on the side of the door it is opened from.
Okay.
I think if it's okay, I might just investigate the light bulb, because then if I need help, maybe Wilson can help me, if that's okay.
Very well then. The light bulb is flickering, but it's the only one in the room to do so. You assume it is a faulty bulb. If you can avoid burning yourself, perhaps you can rectify the distraction by screwing it in tighter. As an action, you may fix the bulb.
Please.
Shielding your hand with a folded handkerchief, you approach the bulb, but as you do, the flickering intensified and is joined by a sharp electrical whine. Before you recognize the danger, the bulb explodes, spraying you with red-hot shards of glass. Suffer 1 face-up damage. Agility negates. Oh dear.
If I use my clue,
you may use your clue or your lucky ring.
I'll use my clue because I don't know where else is going to appear in this room.
Very well then. You suffer no damage. Do, however, remove this token, of course. Your second action, please.
I'll just move back to the door.
Well then, next investigator. I believe that leaves Mr. Richards and Ms. Barnes.
Well, I see Miss Barnes disconnected on Discord.
I'm here.
Yes, I believe she's still with us.
That's weird. Okay.
There's just lots of
You want to
working
go
going
first?
on right now.
You want to go first or I go first?
I take that to mean you wish to explore the end table. Let's see. Several objects are scattered across the floor by the knocked-over table. You rummage through the items, finding little of use save for some pills that might alleviate your supernaturally induced trauma. Gain the painkillers. And remove this search token. The painkillers may be used as an action to discard 1 face-down damage and a horror. And I see Miss Barnes has joined Mr. Anderson. Well then, Mr. Richards, I believe that only leaves you.
Well, I'm gonna try to free our friend and open the door here.
You shudder at the thought of what, if not the wind, could have caused the door to slam shut. As an action, you are opening it from the lobby. Alarmed by your colleague suddenly vanishing from sight, you throw your weight into the door, but it doesn't budge. Instead, you pound against the wood and call out their names. Become righteous.
Oh.
Let's focus righteous. There we are. And Righteous may be used once per round to convert an investigation into a success, but will only last until you suffer one or more horror. Your second action, please, Mr. Richards.
I'm trying the door again.
I'm afraid you have no such option. It may now only be opened from the billiards room.
Oh well. Gotta go. One.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
I can I can try and open it next time for Agnes if you want to move, Wilson.
Yeah, I would like to go explore this way.
Excellent. In that case, we have reached our second Mythos phase. The storm outside draws closer. A crash of thunder seems to rattle the floor beneath you. No immediate effect. Take it away, investigators.
Would anybody mind if I, as Agnes, try and open this door to see if I need her?
Go ahead.
Can I try and open the door, please?
You may. Fearing you've been trapped inside, you anxiously pull on the door handle, but to your surprise, the door swings open instantly. To your further surprise, it no longer leads back to the lobby. Remove this explore token and place the basement. And
You're screwed.
I like the way everybody else left that area.
I'll be right back.
let's see. Oh, yep. In your haste to escape what you thought was a sinister trap, you race through the door, leaving it to close behind you. You're now here in the basement. On the opposite wall hangs a phone. Perhaps if you call the house, you could tell your colleagues where you are. An ancient chest sits in the corner of the room. Up the stairs, you recognize the sturdy door of the kitchen. You hope it will be easily opened from this side. Your second action, please, Ms. Baker.
I'm going to go towards the ancient chest, I think, is probably.
Very well. Next, investigator, please.
Wilson, do you want the knife? I suppose.
Back. Yeah, sure. If we, of course, if we encounter a monster, wouldn't be a bad idea.
Never do know when you'll need a knife.
So 1, 2, and I'm taking the knife.
Okay. Agatha, with her free action, will try to open the door for the basement.
Very well. This is a door containing the trapped investigators. With any luck, it'll be possible to open from one side. As before, this door has a different outcome depending on which side it is being opened from. As your free action, you are opening from the kitchen. You throw your weight against the door, but it doesn't move in the slightest. You doubt it's been opened in years. Your first action, please, Ms. Crane.
I'm sorry, Agnes. Seems like you're
Don't worry.
stuck in there. I will go down here and explore here.
A door leads deeper into the mansion. You walk through the door, discovering, to your alarm, that it leads to a previously explored room. Move your investigator as indicated, and remove this explore token. Very disconcerting.
Okay.
You have one movement space remaining, Ms. Crane.
Yeah, I'll be here to answer the phone, maybe.
Well then, I believe that leaves Mr. Anderson and Ms. Barnes.
Should I?
Yes, I will explore the room to what is probably a bathroom.
Probably the bathroom. Let us see. You open the door, revealing a well-furnished bathroom. Well deduced. In the mirror, you see your reflection looking back at you. For a brief second, you thought you saw the reflection of something else moving in the bathroom that you couldn't see directly. You may move one space into the explored area. Your second action, please. In the mirror, you see bags under your eyes, brought on by a few too many nights working cases instead of sleeping. No doubt that was what caused you to imagine you weren't alone in the bathroom. As you look in the mirror, your heart rate quickens. You can't shake the feeling you're not alone, and you're hesitant to move from your position in which you can see in almost 360 degrees. You're almost prepared to turn around and leave the bathroom when you see a man emerge from behind you, swinging an axe at your head. You drop to the floor evasively and turn around, and although there's no one behind you, the mirror shatters. As you gather your breath, you replay the memory of the previous seconds and realize your attacker was none other than the late Winston Sutcliffe. Suffer 2 horror will negates. Well, that is 1 face-up horror, unless you choose to spend your clue token.
I'll spend my clue token.
Very well. You now gain 2 clues.
Yay!
And of course, remove this search token. Mr. Anderson.
Right, I will explore this room.
As you wish. You enter the master bedroom. The room is as ill-kept as the rest of the mansion, but slightly less dusty, telling you Sutcliffe had spent a lot of time in here. Place the bedroom tile, of which I'm afraid there are a few. Let's see. There we go. And a wall. Several empty glasses and bottles sit on this table. Even empty, you can smell the booze they once contained from the doorway. Sutcliffe's bed sits on the other side of the room. Place a search token. You may move 1 space into the explored area.
Yep.
Your second action, please, Mr. Anderson.
I'll probably move up to there. And then, does anybody want to move 1? Maybe. Jenny Barnes, want me to move you 1?
Yeah, I think there's nothing to do there anymore, so.
Yep, I'll put you there.
Thank you.
Well then, that leads us swiftly along to our third Mythos phase. The investigators in the basement are already unnerved when a quiet, rattling sound comes from the many containers and crevices around them. Suddenly, a swarm of sinister black insects emerges, cascading across the ground like water and swarming over the investigators' shoes. Each investigator in the basement suffers 1 horror. Will negates.
Will. 3.
Successfully negated.
Yay.
A random investigator who is not in the basement looks around in a panic. So to that end, I shall deal out cards at random. Whoever gets the 1 will be affected by this Mythos event. Miss Baker was in the basement, was she not? Yes. So, Miss Sharp, no. Mr. Anderson, nope. Mr. Richards, which of course leaves Ms. Barnes. So Ms. Barnes does not remember walking into this room. How did she get here? Ms. Barnes suffers 1 face-down horror. Observation negates. successfully negated, and Ms. Barnes finds herself in the lobby.
Ooh.
You look like a crazy woman.
Well, perhaps she is a crazy
That's
woman.
because I am.
Arms spread out like, come to me, my flock, I will preach this madness to you.
Well, perhaps it's worth hearing her out. Now, first investigator, please. First investigator, please.
Okay, Agnes will open the ancient chest then.
Very well. It seems unlikely the contents of the chest will help you locate Charlie or understand the strange anomalies of the house, but there's a chance you could find something useful nonetheless. The chest is secured with a combination lock. It could take time to crack. Click to attempt the puzzle using observation. Please turn your attention to the stream.
Where we've had some interesting
Yes,
chats.
I see we're under attack by malevolent forces. Hopefully nothing to worry about. So as you can see, it is a number puzzle. You must correctly guess the 4-digit sequence. You have a number of tries equal to your observation.
My observation is 4, so potentially up to 8 this time.
Correct.
Right. Should I just go with 1, 2, 3, 4 as my first guess?
2 are correct. 1 is in the incorrect position.
Okay. Let's try. Feel free to jump in, anybody. 1, 1, 2, 2. Sorry, does that mean I've got 3, but just one's in the wrong position?
Correct, yes.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought I only had 2.
1 is in the correct position. The others are all incorrect.
We should try all 3 or all 4 to eliminate one of them.
Sorry, because Twitch is a bit behind.
Well, 1, 1, 2, 2 gleaned 1 correct result. Perhaps it would be more expedient to share the stream over Discord.
How do I... Hold on.
Let's see.
I'm never very good at these ones. Let's see. If I think it's... Right.
Well, your colleague suggested all 3s or all 4s.
I'll go all 3s then. Please.
2 are correct.
Okay.
See, our 5th investigator is on his way.
Right. Can I have 1, 4, 3, 3?
Congratulations, that is correct.
Yes.
Wow, lucky.
Yeah. With a click, the chest unlocks. Inside, you find a strange artifact. Gain the Disc of Itzamna and remove this search token. See, we are finally joined by our last investigator.
Yes.
I think he got lost.
So it would seem it is difficult to get to the archives, I will admit.
It was lost in time and space.
Nostalgia, you should see the password to the room in the Discord chat.
Yes. On the way.
Yes, well, sure he'll be with us shortly. In the meantime, Agnes Baker, your second action, please.
I will move to where the telephone is. And that, I believe, is me done.
Good. Next, Investigator, please.
Is it a free action to use the phone?
In the basement, no, that is an interact token. You may spend an action to attempt to call the house, which I'm afraid will have to wait until next turn. I see Nostalgia is now with us, Wood. So let's just have a brief recap. You are investigators hired to find young Charlie Sutcliffe, whose recently divorced mother is worried, having not heard from him in a while. His father is dead at the bottom of the stairs. The young boy is nowhere to be seen. And your colleague is trapped in the basement due to malevolent forces. Speaking of which, who would like to go next?
I can go next. My turn is quite simple since this door cannot be open. This door is not done. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm done.
Very well then. Next investigator. Ms. Barnes, Ms. Crane, and Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
Let's give the phone a try.
Very well. Ms. Crane will be picking up the phone. The phone in the lobby seems to be in working condition. You can see why Mr. Sutcliffe never answered his ex-wife's calls, but nothing that would keep their son from picking up. You hold the phone up to your ear and hear the dial tone. The phone seems fully functional. Perhaps Charlie merely avoided answering it out of a reluctance to approach his father's corpse. Remove this search token. Your second action, please, Ms. Crane.
I'll move twice towards here and use my. We'll try to explore the room with a plate that says Charlie.
Very well. This is a door to Charlie's room. An investigator with the brass key may explore, which unfortunately is not you.
Ouch. Okay.
Very well then, Ms. Barnes, Mr. Anderson.
I will.
I don't know what to do.
Well, before you do anything, let me gather my bearings and take a look at what this is.
Very well. Given the malign energy in the house, investigating the place where Sutcliffe slept could be dangerous. Are you sure you'd like to investigate?
Well, before that, I'd like to know what's going on, guys. My consciousness lagged a bit.
Well, as I said earlier, you are in the house of the recently divorced Mr. Sutcliffe, whose ex-wife is worried about the well-being of her son, whose location is still unknown. Mr. Sutcliffe, however, lies dead in the lobby.
Oh.
By the way, Agnes has the brass key that opens this room.
Yes, but she is currently trapped in the basement with seemingly no way of escaping.
Oh. Okay. And what else do I see in this room?
See, below you, you don't know how long it took Sutcliffe to amass so many empty bottles, but there are a lot.
Empty bottles. Well, I'd say that I'm going to perform a action. And if anyone here, who wants to move? Bring up the movement.
I don't think Jenny's done anything yet, so.
Yes, but like a free space of movement for them, like a.
Want a free move?
Yeah, I just think if you're going to explore that room, it means you don't have to use a move action.
Yeah, come on, do it. Please.
I'm offering an open hand to anyone who wants a free.
There we are.
You want to?
Right.
Go ahead.
Now, I'll take a look at those bottles.
As you wish, you select one of the bottles which still has a few drops of whiskey in it. Holding it, you feel empty and numb, but the feel of the bottle in your hand gives you a fleeting sense of false comfort. You pour the drops into your mouth as your emptiness slowly turns to anger. It's her fault you feel like this. You throw the bottle at the wall in a rage. Suddenly, you recognize the alien thoughts in your head and frantically back away from the bottles. Suffer 1 face-up horror. Gain 1 clue and remove this search token.
Okay. Clue and horror. Face up or face down?
Face up.
Alright, here we go. Just
A minor shock. No cause for alarm, it would seem. You have 1 movement space remaining.
Yep, I'm gonna. This room seems to have some strange consciousness energy. I think I'm gonna try it again later. So I'll just get that.
As you wish. Now, finally, Ms. Barnes.
Yes, I would like to explore that.
As you wish. The door leads to a small library. Given how wealthy and powerful the Sutcliffes used to be, it seems reasonable to assume they'd collected a powerful tome or 2 over the years. Placing the library tile, which I'm afraid is also far from unique. Let's see. There we are. And a wall. See. The reading chairs seem like the comfortable place to stop and gather your thoughts, if you find the time. Moments after opening the library door, you are startled by a thud and turn to see a book fall to the floor, although you can't see where it might have fallen from. A moment later, though, you catch sight of another book just as it's flung from a shelf by some invisible force. Then another, and a third! For several seconds, the library is wrought by a maelstrom of chaos as books fly, furniture is overturned, and paintings fall from the walls. Suffer 1 horror. Observation negates. Well, negated. Eventually the madness subsides and 1 thing stands out. Sitting alone on an upright reading table is a book, its pages purposefully fluttering open to a specific section. It's a search token, as it indicated. You may move 1 space into the explored area. Your second action, please, Ms. Barnes.
I am going to search that.
The chair looks comfortable enough to catch your breath, but not so comfortable you'd be tempted to dwell for longer than needed. Perfect for studying at. You may sit down as an action. Very well, I assume you will. You recline in the chair and collect your thoughts. So, Mr. Sutcliffe died as a result of his inebriation, but had his intoxication been an isolated incident? Based on his ungroomed stubble and raggedy clothes, you assume not. If Sutcliffe had fallen to alcoholism, then young Charlie was likely scared. But it wasn't his father's fault. His hussy mother had been the one to tear the family apart, and that little brat had only... You quickly stand up. Whose thoughts were those? Why do you feel so angry? Suffer 1 horror. Will negates. Oh my.
Wow.
A perfect failure, I'm afraid, and no means of re-rolling. So 1 face-up horror, Ms. Barnes. That is a damage card.
I'm damaged in the head.
Quite. A minor shock, nothing more. And you also gain 1 clue. Which I believe leads us to our next Mythos phase. Anyone care to contradict that? No, I believe we are. So, the insects in the basement continue to pour in. They crawl up the investigator's legs and bite painfully. Each investigator in the basement suffers 2 face-down damage. Strength negates.
Pasta, you've got something in the background there. Shh.
So is that in the basement? Yep.
Correct.
The basement.
1, 2, strength.
Am I?
I might use my lucky. Oh.
And
that's a
yes, of
plus
course,
8.
one additional die. Should you choose to use that?
I probably will for the reroll, so that'll give me 3.
Doesn't say you can only use it once, so yes, I suppose you may as well use that now. Roll one additional die, please.
Yeah. I don't think I've got it anywhere. Oh.
Well, that is 1 negated damage. You may, however, reroll all of your dice with the lucky ring. However, you must reroll all of them.
Let's reroll all of them.
Very well then. 3 dice in total. Oh my. Let this be a lesson on the perils of gambling. 2 face down damage, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
Wilson Richards looks around, and for a second they see a vaguely familiar person striding towards them angrily, but when they blink, the malevolent person is gone. Wilson Richards suffers 1 face-down horror. Will negates. Wilson Richards, please roll your will. Kralf, that is you.
Oh, sorry. Will negate. 3.
You remember that if you suffer horror, you will no longer be righteous. But it seems that you have not, and you are. So, it is the investigator phase again.
Right. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
I think Agnes should get out of the basement.
Well, that would depend on how opposed you are to being ravenously consumed by paranormal insects.
Yeah. I might need that extra movement actually.
Yeah.
Can I use the phone, please? Interact with the phone.
You certainly may. With a shrill wail, the phone in the lobby begins to ring. Place an interact token as indicated. The cord on the basement phone is long enough that you can move freely while waiting for your colleagues to pick up. Remove this token. Your second action, please, Ms. Baker.
I'll move 1, 2 to the bottom of the stairs.
As you wish. Next, investigator, please.
I'll go. I'll go first to interact with the phone, if you don't mind.
Seems prudent.
Okay.
The phone in the lobby continues to wail as your colleagues in the basement await your assistance. As an action, you may answer the phone.
I will answer the phone.
You pick up the phone, your best guess to the caller's identity being Mrs. Lockwood, that is to say your client. But, to your surprise, your vanished colleagues are on the other end, apparently trapped in the basement. You assure them you'll help them get the basement door open immediately, but as you are going to put the phone down, you hear another voice on the line. Hello? It's a young boy. He sounds nervous, almost afraid. Are you in my house? You may say, Charlie, is that you? Or, how do we open the door to the basement?
Charlie, is that you?
As you wish. A pause. Yeah, I'm Charlie. Who are you? You explain you're an investigator hired by his mother who is worried about him. Mum's worried about me? Why? I'm fine. You may say, where are you? Or, our friends are trapped in the basement. Can you help?
Our friends are trapped in the basement. Can you help?
We lost the basement key a long time ago, but I know a secret way to get stuff out of the basement. I can't come and show you because my dad and I are playing hide and seek, but I can tell you where... But if you tell me where you're looking, I'll tell you if you're getting hotter or colder. You try to press the urgency of extracting your friends, but Charlie ignores you, insisting on playing this game, rather than simply telling you what you have to do. There are several places in the lobby where one might find the tool or mechanism for accessing the basement. Here, here, and here. There are a few potential hiding places in the billiards room. A few hiding places caught your eye in the library. There are a few places in the dining room that could hide Charlie's mysterious salvation. The upstairs hall is long and littered with furniture. You're cautiously hopeful that Charlie would have told you if you were supposed to search any deeper into the mansion. Like the phone in the basement, the cord on the phone in the lobby is long enough not to restrict you while playing Charlie's game. Remove this interact token. Your second action, please, Mr. Richards.
I'm gonna try this token, since in the same zone.
One of the statues by the door is slightly less than parallel with the walls, as though it has been moved recently. On closer inspection, the statue's uneven placement is the only noteworthy thing about it. You're a little warm, Charlie admits. Remove this interact token.
Oh,
Next, Investigator, please.
Alright, well, I'd like to take a look at the bed first.
As you wish. The bed is unkept and filthy. You doubt the sheets have been changed for several weeks prior to Sutcliffe's death. More evidence of his declining mental state. Gain one clue and remove this search token. You shake the sheets, obstructing your vision, looking for more evidence. When you lower them, you're startled to find you are not in the bedroom as you thought. Move your investigator as indicated.
Oh.
Your second action, please, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm gonna move in here. And when moving, I know, but there's somebody else there as well. I'm gonna move though, and offer a grapevine to another player, anyone who wants to move. Does anyone want to move? I'll give it to you.
yes, I would like so. So I will be close to an
Okay.
interact token next turn.
Seems there is some
Since I'm
contest
warm.
there. Mr. Anderson, who will you be giving your action to?
Well, I think I'm gonna give it to. Well, why don't you check out the billiards room down there if I give you the choice as a suggestion?
I was just thinking, who's the one that can move 3? Is that Jenny
Me.
Barnes?
Yeah.
Is it worth giving it to you and then you can go right to the very end? So you could then move 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Is that
But
worth
there's
going?
still stuff around here to explore.
Oh, just because you said it was close at the bottom. I don't. Well, I'll leave it. Oh yeah, because
Okay.
you got the book.
So, Mr. Anderson, who will you be giving your movement space to?
Well, wherever you go, Wilson, it's your choice. So, it's
Mr.
yours.
Richards, please move yourself 1 space.
So you suggest there. I'm gonna follow your suggestion and go there first.
All right.
Very well, I believe that leaves Ms. Crane and Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
That was an invitation for one of you to take your turn, of course.
Yeah, I know that, but thinking it's hard. Yeah, I can move here, or I can just explore this. Like, I don't know.
Don't leave any stone unturned.
That's an achievement. So we think it's in the billiards room?
Well, I said it was close down at the bottom, so I'm not sure the ones up here have got anything. It could be messing with us, but
Okay, I'm just
Yeah, we
going to
only
do
have-
one step and explore that and just get some magical tome.
Very well. Some mysterious force wished to draw your attention to this book. You wonder why. Before you read the book, you flick to the front to read its title, The Almanac of the Ethereal Undead. On your way back to the page it was open to, you skim the others. Every few pages, the topic shifts to another kind of ghost or ghoul, Apparently there were many. The book had been opened to a section on something called a mania wraith. A mania wraith is a physical manifestation of intense negative emotions of someone recently departed. A dark fragment of who they once were. The wraith's only goal is to satisfy the negative emotion that brought them back to life, rid themselves of that which they most fear, protect that which they guard most jealously, or enact their most furious vengeance. Like most spectres, mania wraiths are often confined to the buildings they called home during life and primarily dwell in objects that represent the emotion that conjured them. Gain 1 clue, remove this search token.
I'll pay 1 clue. I don't get anything.
There you are, you get 1 clue.
Oh, I get 1. I thought I had to pay 1.
Not quite. You have 2 movement spaces remaining.
Yeah, I'm just going to get the hell out of there. Just assume it's over there or there.
Very well, Ms. Crane.
I'll move twice here, then once here, and I'll try. Is there any plate or anything on top of the
See, the door to your left is unmarked. The door to your right is obstructed by the axe embedded in it.
Yeah, then I will use my free action to explore the one to my left.
Very well. You enter a large, well-equipped office. You wonder if Winston Sutcliffe had much use for it as the unemployed heir of a forgotten wealthy family. Placing the office tile. And wall. The desk is covered in letters. Place a search token as indicated. To your left is a well-worn chair, besides a table littered with glasses and empty whiskey bottles. Sensing a pattern here, you may move 1 space into the explored area.
Well, and my last movement will be towards here.
As you wish. Which leads us swiftly along to our next Mythos phase. The insects in the basement cover almost every surface. Perhaps if you watch them closely, you'll discover how they behave as a swarm and learn how to evade them. Each investigator in the basement suffers 2 damage. Influence negates. Do you remember you roll an additional dice as per your disc of its Zamna?
I did, sorry.
That is 1 negated damage.
I'll do it again because I think influence. I get 5. So was it 2 I needed?
Correct.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got to be better than last. Come on.
And damage negated. A second crash of thunder tests Wilson Richards' already frayed nerves, causing them to jump in alarm, tripping painfully in the progress. They suffer 2 damage. Agility negates. Mr. Richards.
I'm going agility negate. Sorry. 4.
Is 1 damage unless you choose to use your righteous ability or indeed spend a clue token.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use this before I lose
Very
it.
well. This does not expire when you use it. It may be used once per turn.
Okay.
And that turn has now come to an end. First investigator, please.
Okay. Can I try first to see if this token is the warm one?
As you
Or
wish.
if I'm going the wrong
If
direction.
a child were to hide something in the billiards room, the underside of the table would seem like an obvious choice. You may search as an action.
I will search as an action.
You look under the table, finding nothing. You're very warm, Charlie says excitedly, but you're in the wrong room. Remove this interact token.
Aha.
Ah.
So it maybe this one.
Okay.
Or these ones.
You should definitely start moving out of that room then, since we know it's not
Yes.
anymore.
So Jenny, do you plan to try on this one? Rafi?
Ms. Barnes?
Haven't you tried with the column already?
So
Yes,
did
I
they
was.
find it in here?
This was more warm. Are you planning to try this one?
There is one over
after?
here too.
I
No,
think
was
it's probably in the
I
library.
was in the wrong room.
Oh.
Charlie said I was in the wrong room, so it's not this one.
One moment, please, Ms. Barnes. Mr. Richards has another movement space.
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah, I will move there.
As you were, Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
I think, yeah. I think
Oh, I
it's
thought
going
it
to
was
be.
my turn. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it will be in the library, so I think,
I'll
yeah,
go
just.
back to the library.
Very well, Ms. Barnes, as
Yeah.
you were.
And I'll explore that one, because there's a phone over there.
Very well. A few stray books lie on the table. Perhaps it is knowledge that will save your friend, not a key or secret passage. You rifle through the books, finding nothing pertinent. You're so hot, your skin is melting, Charlie says ominously. Remove this interact token.
Oh.
Next,
Now it's my
investigator, please.
Well,
I can read the letters.
As you wish. There's likely a lot you could learn from whatever Winston Sutcliffe had been writing prior to his death. The papers are drafts of the letter Sutcliffe sent to his ex-wife, and there are quite a few. Mrs. Lockwood had said the last letter she received had been slightly off, and the ambiguous tone was clearly well practiced. Most of the rejected letters are far more sinister, riddled with veiled threats, sinister declarations, and even misogynistic insults. One letter in particular makes your blood run cold. In it, Sutcliffe threatens to kill his own son without even issuing a demand, other than Lockwood knowing it would be her fault. Gain 1 clue, remove this search token, and suffer 2 horror. Will negates.
Okay. 4. I'll spend a clue.
As you wish. Your second action, please, Miss Crane.
I'll stay here.
Very well. Next, investigator.
remind me what this was, just an axe?
Yes, an axe is embedded in the door in such a way that the handle would hit the wall before the door could open fully. You may remove the axe as an action.
Yeah, I think I'll move there and take the axe in question.
As you wish, the moment your fingertips touch the wooden handle, you feel an uneasy sensation in your stomach, and once you pull the weapon from the wall, an alien presence fills your head, overriding your every thought. Get out of my house! The words leap from your mouth uninvited. You swing the axe around furiously. All investigators in yours and adjacent spaces suffer 2 damage. Agility negates.
Uh-oh.
Ms. Crane, please
But
roll
dangerous.
your agility.
That's also adjacent?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh.
That is 1 face-up damage unless you spend a clue token.
I will.
Oops.
Gain the axe common item. However, I'm afraid that Mr. Anderson's ordeal is not over yet. Remove this investigator from the board and replace them with a thrall.
Oh, crap.
Oh yeah.
Your investigator is now possessed by the malevolent spirit of Winston Sutcliffe. As an action, you may resist the hold the spirit has on you by selecting the acts in the app. However, this will be a very difficult feat, but it could become easier if the others attack Sutcliffe, weakening his resolve. Let's see if the thrall... Alright. Next, investigator, please.
I guess I should explore the thing, or...
Before, I forgot to give a free movement to somebody when I moved.
Very well.
Does anyone want to have an extra move?
No.
Alright. Then no one will get an extra move.
Well then, are there any investigators remaining? We'll take that as a no.
I'd like my extra move, but I think the door's locked, so I'm stuck.
Yes, Agnes, you may attempt to open the door.
Yeah, I'll try and open the door, see what happens.
As you wish, you heave on the door, but it doesn't budge in the slightest. The handle may as well be attached to a solid wall. I don't believe there is anything else you can do, is there?
No, I'm stuck.
Oh, unfortunate. Well,
Great.
in that case... Insects begin climbing through the floorboards and crawling along the ceiling of the basement before dropping like gruesome rain. Each investigator in the basement suffers 2 horror will negates. Do you remember to roll an additional dice?
Yeah.
And negated. As focused as you are looking out for paranormal phenomenon, you're unprepared for the devastating bolt of lightning and explosion of thunder. Each investigator suffers 1 horror will negates. Everyone, please roll your will to negate 1 horror.
Is that Agnes as well?
Everyone.
Even the...
Oh.
Okay, everyone then.
Yep.
And it seems all is well. The possessed investigator moves 3 spaces towards the nearest investigator and attacks. Ms. Crane. Get out of my house! Your friend screams as they swing their axe. Suffer 2 damage. Agility negates.
Not my best fit, but
Oh my.
yeah.
2 face up damage, I'm afraid. You have a minor injury and a broken arm, meaning you are now at your item limit. And now, a horror check. Straining your mind, you can think of no reason to believe a spectre can only possess 1 person at a time. Can your other colleagues really be trusted? Suffer 1 horror plus 1 face down damage for each other investigator in the room, including the possessed one. So 1 horror and 1 face down damage will negates. Miss Crane, please roll your
Agatha, right?
will. That is either 1 face up horror or 1 face down damage.
1 face up horror.
As you wish. Mediocrity. You cannot improve any skill. Oh my. Which leads us swiftly along to the next investigator phase.
Just to be selfish, if Jenny Barnes was to search, perhaps, or interact with the token, if I could get out, I might be able to help.
Oh yeah, that was the plan.
I agree.
I'm going to do that, and I'm going to run toward our possessed non-friend. So yeah, I'm going to search this one.
As you wish. It should have occurred to you sooner that one of the books remaining on the shelves may in fact be a camouflaged lever activating a secret passage. You pull books off the shelf frantically, finding nothing but genuine books. One of them catches your eye, though. Apertures of Alternate Realms. You leaf through it, finding it to be full of practical information about manipulating rifts between worlds. Although somewhat overkill, the skills in this book will allow you to extract your colleagues by guiding them through alternate dimensions. Gain the Summoning Spell.
Okay.
And should let you know that rather than using this as normal, it must be selected in the app when being cast. However, once doing so, it will allow you to summon lost investigators. You found it, Charlie says happily. I still can't tell you where I'm hiding, but if you come upstairs, maybe we can play something else. Remove all interact tokens.
Can I summon Charlie?
Not yet, as I am done with your previous action. And no, you may not summon Charlie, as he is not an investigator. From Charlie's room, you hear the muffled sound of scraping wood like a sliding door opening. Your second action, please, Ms. Barnes.
Well, I guess you should ask really nicely and I might summon you.
Ms. Baker, would you care to ask nicely? Not that Ms. Barnes can hear you, of course.
Bag me. Okay. I'll try summoning Agnes and I'll try to get her stuck in some...
As you wish. The dark magics you've learned should be more than capable of rescuing your friends. As an action, you are summoning the investigators from the basement. You tear open a rift and pull your colleagues through. Remove the basement tile and place all investigators from the basement in your space.
Thank you.
Good. I was waiting for that.
Suddenly, your head starts to throb. The malign energy wreaks havoc on your unprepared mind. Make a lore roll.
Me?
Oops.
Correct.
Fuck. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, say what you wish. There are more horrific things here than bad language. And a perfect roll. The fact that the alternate realms exist fill you with existential dread, but you just about manage to suppress your fear. For now.
Just about?
Flip your summoning spell. There you are. Flip the summoning spell. Flip the summoning spell. Thank you. The laws of nature themselves feel as if they resist your unnatural pull. A second lore roll, please.
I'll use a clue.
Who's that a clue?
As you wish. Reality is forced to submit. No additional effect.
Good.
To your horror, the disgusting creatures from the basement follow your allies through the portal. They swarm across the mansion floor, and half of them converge on the billiards room, where they climb atop one another, forming a single writhing mass. Place the crawling one, as indicated.
I think that's even more disgusting in my language.
The other half of the gruesome vermin scuttle up the stairs to form a second monstrosity, which we shall tint red.
I'm not sure if I'm happy that I saved her.
Yes, perhaps there's still time to reconsider your action if you could push them back through.
Can I, banish the monsters back to the basement?
I'm afraid not. Next investigator, please.
Is it worth Agatha having a go at trying to get Leo back? Or bashing Leo and then Leo? Because I think you said the more damage it is, the easier it is for Leo to come back.
I think it might have to do with willpower, so... Plus, I can take the hits. I've got bandages, so... If it does deal any damage to me...
Very well. Ms. Crane, do you wish to attack your former colleague?
Unarmed.
I want you to hit me.
Seems that is your only option. Very well. Attacking the possessed investigator unarmed. You put all your strength.
By an old lady?
You put all your strength behind a punch to your fellow investigator's nose. Make a strength roll, please. The possessed investigator suffers face-down damage equal to your result.
2.
Hefty blow. And since they suffered 1 or more damage, I will report this to the app. Sutcliffe's resolve weakens. Your second action, please, Ms. Crane.
Do you want me to attack you again?
Come on, hit me! Hit me!
I'll punch him in the face again.
And again. You dart on the balls of your feet, watching your former friend for the perfect chance to strike. An observation roll, please. 2 is a success. A failure. Now it is a success. You find an opening. You strike your friend, causing them to stagger. They suffer 1 face-down damage. And once again, Sutcliffe's resolve weakens still. Next investigator, please.
Can I try to break out?
You may. While Sutcliffe occupies your mind, you can still feel him radiating from the axe you hold. There's a chance you could resist him and banish him back into the object. As an action, you may resist control.
Yep.
You strain yourself, trying to collect your own thoughts amongst Sutcliffe's bitterness and hatred. Make a will roll.
Oh, shoot. Go to this bottom right one.
A 2. The harder you strain, the less you are able to remember of your true self. I'm afraid you have not resisted Sutcliffe.
Is it worth doing the bandages to get rid of some of the face-down wounds?
There's a sense of thematic context. You shouldn't be able to bandage yourself while possessed, but as I haven't explicitly said so, I will allow that.
Well, since his resolve is down, I guess I'll use the bandages.
As you wish.
So when does he turn back?
Well, not this turn, it seems. Next investigator, please.
Well, I'm armed and equipped, so charge. I'm righteous. I'm gonna try to beat the crawling one here.
With a knife, I
With
assume.
my knife.
Who are the red-marked crawling one with a knife. Scrambling and reeling, you stay just out of the creature's reach while you look for an opening. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. A success it is. You lunge forward and slam your blade home as the creature rears up. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result, for a total of 4 damage. Next investigator, please.
I think, is it just me left? So I'll go 1, 2, 1. Yes, I'll just do 2 movements.
Very well.
So I don't think...
Yes, I believe that's everyone. So, Mythos phase. Jenny Barnes looks around just in time to see someone swinging an axe at their neck. They flinch in alarm, but the fatal attack never comes. And when they open their eyes, their attacker is gone. Jenny Barnes suffers 2 face-up horror. Will negates.
I think I'm being haunted by an ex-murderer.
That's certainly one theory for why everything's happening tonight. Do you let me know if you think of another?
Oh, I forgot one.
1 additional dice. And horror negated.
I am lucky so far.
The unmarked crawling one moves 1 space towards the nearest investigator within range. There are no investigators within range, so it moves nonetheless. The red crawling one attacks the investigator in its space. The creature slithers forwards and swings an enormous fleshy fist. An agility roll, please. Wilson Richards 2 is a success. Hey.
I will use my righteous to have 2 success.
As you wish. You manage to throw yourself to the side to avoid the worst of the blow. Suffer 1 face down damage. The possessed investigator attacks Ms. Crane. The possessed investigator swings the axe at you, but you catch it by the handle and engage in a test of strength. A strength roll, please, Ms. Crane. 2 is a success.
That's why I have so many clues.
Well, you heave the axe from your friend's grip and manage to let go of it before you share your friend's fate. Remove the thrall and replace them with the formerly possessed investigator. And place the axe in your space.
I'm back.
Oh, please, or you may have accidentally deleted Mr. Wilson then.
Oops.
A moment, please.
Let's not pick up the axe again.
There we are. Right, as I was saying.
No, it'll be fine this time.
You never know. Success.
Keep leaving it there. I'm not going to pick it up again.
If the need arises, you may pick up the axe again. However, if you intend to hold on to the accursed object, perhaps your team could work together to sequester its malevolent power. Now, whenever the axe is picked up, traded, or a movement action is ended while holding the axe, all investigators in the space may pool their energies to keep Sutcliffe at bay. Should you choose to pick it up again, of course. And now, a horror check. So, Ms. Baker and Mr. Richards. The creature bellows into the air. The sound is full of a dozen emotions that you cannot comprehend, and a handful that you do, including hatred, fury, and hunger. Each of you suffers 2 horror. Will -1 negates.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
My.
Should I risk it?
Oh.
I'll take 1 horror.
Very well then. 1 horror for Ms. Baker. And I see
Is it
Richards
I'll take only 1
spent a
horror.
clue. So yes,
also.
1 face-up
So-
horror for each of you. Have a minor shock.
And I lose this.
Terrible truths. And yes, you also lose your remaining clue, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
Indeed.
What was that? Gain 1 clue.
Beg your
It
pardon.
says gain 1 clue, not lose 1
So
clue.
it does. My apologies.
No problem.
Here you are.
And since I've suffered horror, I will become focused.
As you say.
Oh, brilliant. That's not a bad thing. You've got an extra clue and you've become focused. So.
Well, it is now the investigator phase once more.
Is it worth Agnes opening the door first before? I know we've still got to fight the crawling one, but is it worth opening the door?
Please.
What I could do is I can investigate this chair, then move, and then give you the free movement. Or wait. Oh,
That
No,
would
no.
not help Agnes at
Right,
this moment.
Agnes should definitely open it. Oops.
Yeah, because that free movement could be useful for somebody trying to get it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Is
open.
Oh
As-
yeah, go ahead.
You wish, this is a door to
open
Charlie's
the
room.
door.
An investigator with a brass key may explore. You enter Charlie's bedroom, remove this explore token, and place the bedroom tile, which I had the forethought to not return earlier. Yeah. And a wall. And of course, a corresponding door. Charlie's bed sits on the opposite side of the room. A chessboard sits on the table close to a dumb waiter. You may move one space into the explored area. Your second action, please.
I have one question.
Ask it.
What was that?
This is a bed. This is a chessboard besides a dumb waiter.
What the hell is a dumb waiter?
A dumb waiter is a small lift
elevator.
for transporting food and sundries to waiters.
I'll investigate the dumb waiter.
Very well, you approach the chessboard, wondering if this is what Charlie was talking about when he spoke of playing more games upstairs. Hello? Charlie's voice comes from the dumb waiter. Are you at the chess set? You may say, Charlie, you need to come down. Your mum's worried about you. Or you could say, yes. Do you want to play?
I'm happy to take suggestions for this.
We're supposed to find the child.
You know,
That's our mission. We're supposed to find the child for his mother. So normally you should go with our mission.
Did we have any clues as to how he felt about his mum? I'm trying to remember from the
I
series.
would play a game with him because he wanna have some fun.
Yeah.
Go
for B. You know.
He loves his mom, and we're in a haunted house with monster.
Yeah, but if his
So I
dad,
think it's safe to play a game.
if his
But he
dad was,
doesn't.
if
He
his
doesn't.
dad,
Sorry, I interrupted you. He doesn't seem to care because he played with us hot and warm and cold. So
Yeah, but we got 2 crawling one. What do you think? And a hunting house.
yeah, but it's a kid. Like if his
I'll-
dad was
yeah.
really that mad and yelling, and saying maybe the dad said like a lot of bad stuff about the mother, he might not want to go to his mom if he knows bringing him to her.
Yeah, I'll try and build a bond with him. I'll play the game.
Yeah.
As you wish. Yes, Charlie replies enthusiastically. My mum taught me how, and I've got a chess set up here, so I'll tell you where to move my pieces. It seems Charlie's mother taught him well. He plays confidently and proves a formidable opponent, although he is still a child and you're confident you can win. Regardless of whether or not you should defeat him, you do well to make it look good first. Make an observation roll.
Ooh. I'll take 3 successes.
3. You move your pieces across the board, struggling to counter Charlie's clever strategies. And I'm afraid that is the end of your turn. Next, Investigator, please.
Okay.
I guess Leo, do you want to search it? Do you want to search this so I can
take a look.
open?
Very well. Sitting in the chair could provide some insight into Sutcliffe's frame of mind, or at the very least rest your weary feet for a moment. You turn around to go and sit down, but instead finding yourself falling through thin air. Stranger still, the floor you find yourself sprawled on is not the floor of the office. Move your investigator as indicated.
No, that was Leo, not me.
It was me.
Beg your pardon.
It was me.
Mr. Anderson, your
Come on,
second
don't worry.
action, please.
Call an ambulance, but not for me. I think I'm gonna. Well. Yeah, I'd rather move out so that it doesn't move to me and I get stuck in the room. So I'll move out to it.
Very well. Next, investigator.
Can I?
I'll give
Can
you
I
the free
move?
movement. Go ahead and move out.
Yeah.
into the hall.
As you wish.
Okay. Do you want me to explore this room?
Check it.
All right.
Okay.
And you are the one with the otherworldly compass, of course. So, as a free action, although unobstructed, the door is locked. You can see nothing through the keyhole, leading you to believe the key is on the other side. As an action, you may knock on the door.
Wilson, do you need some help with the crawling one, or do you want me to knock on
I
doors?
should be okay.
Okay.
I think
Knock,
2 more shots at it, he should be dead.
Knock, knock.
You rap sharply on the door and call out, "Charlie, are you in there?" Several seconds pass, during which you can just about make out quiet footsteps on the other side. "Go away!" you hear a child whisper. "You can't let him find me!" Your first action, please, Miss Crane.
Is there any further interaction with the door?
I'm afraid not. The door remains locked, and you may not knock again.
Damn child! That's my response.
And having your father die and haunt you afterwards is a traumatic response.
Yeah.
Experience.
I'll move here and Wilson, I will help because
Very well. An
already
unarmed
here.
attack against the red crawling one.
Okay.
That's correct.
Not confident in your ability to avoid the creature in a prolonged fight, you charge it head on, hoping to injure it before it can react. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success.
Ooh.
Clues for the rescue.
It is. You pass. Luck seems to be on your side. You manage to connect with a few quick strikes. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result plus 1. For a total of 3 damage. And I'm sorry to say, the crawling one endures.
Oh.
Mr. Richards and Ms. Barnes.
Well, I would like to go first. Try to finish the crawling one.
As
So I'm gonna
you
attack.
wish. A bladed weapon against the crawling one. The beast hurls its limbs towards you, and you slash at them as they pass. Once again, an agility roll, and once again, 2 is required.
Gonna use a clute again.
Success. You dodge just enough to get at a good angle and cut into the creature. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, plus 1. The crawling one is dead.
Woo! So at least 9 hit points.
At least.
Awesome.
Your second action, please.
I'm gonna move 1, 2 to go give a hand to Leo with the other crawling one.
Oh, yeah, I was just wondering, is it worth coming up to help with the dumb waiter?
Or with the bed, but
Yeah.
she can also.
No,
I'm
depends
better
on what
fighting.
Jenny might
That's true.
wanna.
That's true.
I'm going to run and I'm going to shoot at that thing.
Very well. Mr. Richards, are you certain you'd like to end in the lobby?
You will get a horror check if you end up here.
Mr. Richards, please confirm your choice. Kralf.
Cross?
Yes? Sorry?
Please confirm your
sure you
choice
wanna-
to end in the lobby.
You said, Jenny Barn, you have a gun?
I do.
Oh yeah, you got a 20. Okay. You want me to go help him instead with the... Okay, I'll go there now.
Well then, Ms. Barnes, you are the last investigator.
Well, I walk here and then I'm going to shoot at that monstrosity crawling eye.
As you wish.
I do.
You loathe to trust your aim at range. You resolve to stand your ground until the monster moves closer. As it does, your hands begin to tremble. A will roll, please. 2 is a success.
I don't like it when you tell me what to do to succeed.
Well, such is the game, and I'm afraid you have failed. The trembling intensifies. It is all you can do to keep from dropping your weapon. Which leads us along to our next.
Oh, before we go, she's got one more movement. You can keep
Yeah.
moving.
It is all you can do to stop. You have not dropped your weapon.
Oh,
Yes,
but,
you.
like, isn't it? Don't we like play it like that? You just say like I have to roll will, and then don't tell me what to succeed.
No, some roles do have a defined requirement.
Okay.
Yes, you do indeed have 1 movement space remaining. Should you wish to use it.
No, I don't.
Well then. Mythos phase. Leo Anderson passes an oil lamp. As they gaze at the appliance, they think of all the harm such a thing could cause. Then they are filled with an inexplicable anger at their colleagues, and in a moment of compulsive rage, they seize the lamp and smash it at their feet. Suffer 1 horror and place fire in your space.
I suffer horror.
You do. Do you try to
Face
calm
up?
yourself, Mr. Anderson? Face up, yes. Minor shock, nothing more. The crawling one activates in a space containing fire, and as such it suffers 1 damage. Then it attacks. With a burst of speed, the creature is suddenly upon you. Its enormous bulk overwhelms you. A strength roll, please, Mr. Anderson. 2 is a success.
He's beginning to believe.
You claw at the floor, barely able to pull yourself from its writhing tentacles, and suffer 1 face-down horror.
I guess that can't be avoided then.
And now a horror check for Mr. Anderson and Ms. Barnes. Whispering voices intrude on the edges of your consciousness. Suffer 2 face-down horror. Will -1 negates.
My frayed nerves don't mess with me now. I'm going to spend a clue.
Very well, neither of you suffer any horror. Which leads us along to our next Investigator phase.
Shoot it! Shoot it!
I'm gonna shoot it.
I believe the consensus is to shoot the crawling one.
Yeah, I feel
We
very
believe in
compelled.
you.
Your pounding heart makes your hands tremble as you line up the shot. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success. You pass, you steady your aim and fire. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage,
2.
putting it up to 3 damage, which, as you have established, is not enough.
Well, I'm gonna shoot it again.
A salient choice. You take in your creature's hideous countenance, and fear courses through you as you raise your weapon. A will roll, please, Ms. Barnes. 2 is a success. Your clue tokens are trickling away, but for now, you subdue your fear long enough to take your shot, and the monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, putting it up to 5 damage total.
Okay. Well, if I attack, I'll take fire damage, right?
Correct.
Oh.
Can he extinguish the fire before?
He must evade the
No,
monster
I'll do
first.
I'm not giving the monster the chance.
Yes.
I'll take the damage.
No.
I was just wondering, is it worth maybe Agnes or Wilson having a go at this dumb waiter? Because if we can complete it, the other one could come down and help shoot it.
Oh, you're right.
I don't believe either of you
Makes
possess a
sense.
firearm, do you?
I've got a spell
So you do.
that says Storm of Spirits.
Well then.
You do your thing first, so before my action. So go ahead.
Very well then, Ms. Baker, Mr. Richards, who would like to go next?
Well, I'm gonna go. If I can make it, then you can go with the spell and help the other.
Very well then.
What's
Charlie awaits your next move. As an action, you may continue to play the game.
I will do so.
You move your pieces, attacking Charlie's forces. Once again, make an observation roll. One. You move your pieces across the board, struggling to counter Charlie's clever strategies. Your second action, please.
I'll do that again.
As you wish, another observation roll, please. A very gradual process, and I'm afraid the game continues.
Sorry, I did my best.
Next investigator, please.
You guys.
Honestly, anyone would think you'd never been on fire while engaging an eldritch monstrosity made out of insects before.
Agatha's got quite
Honestly,
good observation.
I'm not too worried about the fire.
Yeah.
Who's left?
Agnes hasn't gone. Sorry, has Agatha gone?
No, I believe, yes, Agnes, Agatha, and Mr. Richard Anderson, even, are still to go.
Maybe he will listen to an old lady.
You can always try.
Did Agnes go already?
No, I haven't gone.
Agnes?
I'll,
You're already there, so.
Yeah, I'll give that a go. So yeah, I'll try.
Very well, Agnes takes over the chess game. An observation roll, please, Ms. Baker. Very well, are you happy with that outcome?
So yeah, that's 2.
2. Finally, the tide of the battle turns in your favor. If you are to throw the game convincingly, it will have to be now. Your options are to defeat him or let him win.
Oh.
Oh.
The ultimate litmus test of should we, shouldn't we?
Indeed.
Happy to take votes from the team.
I think this kid, might not.
Let him win.
Man, he's not too intelligent, so if we let him win, we might gain favor with him. But if he had been as intelligent, he might suspect you let him win. Based on my limited knowledge on this kid, I'm just gonna say my vote goes to let him win.
I think I'm gonna agree.
Right, I'll go with that. We'll let him win.
Very well. Charlie's mood lightens quickly as the game turns in his favor. With the slightest accidental slip-up, he overwhelms you and soon after captures your king. Yes, he eventually cries. Checkmate, I won! Remove this search token. Charlie's rapturous giggling quickly begins to fade. You can practically see the crestfallen look slowly settle on his face now that the distraction of the game is over. I guess we should go now, Charlie sighs. You can come and get me. From the hallway you hear a click as the attic door unlocks. Your second action, please, Ms. Baker.
Wow, I actually made an astute observation there.
Well, I'll go 1, 2 to there.
Very well, Ms. Crane and Mr. Anderson.
I'll move here and use my free action to.
As you wish. It sounds like Charlie is finally ready for you to take him to his mother. The door is now unlocked. You are exploring.
That's why my arms are open.
A chill breeze blows from the poorly insulated attic as you open the door. Remove this token and place the attic.
Why do I get this feeling there's no kid in there and it's a monster?
He's a ghost.
Well, many would argue children are monsters. Up the stairs, you see the dumb waiter through which you and Charlie spoke. Around the corner, a crude blanket fort has been assembled. You can hear rapid, nervous breaths coming from inside. You may move 1 space into the explored area.
What's the first item?
That is the dumb waiter through which you previously spoke.
Oh, the dumb waiter. So I have 1 more action. I will move towards the blanket.
Very well. Awesome. Dumb waiter.
Well, I guess that means it's up to me.
So
I'll take the fire damage. Face up, right?
face down damage for performing an action in fire.
I'll take the face down
And
punch it.
Kill it.
attack. Unarmed, with empty hands and the beast looming over you, you struggle to work up the courage to attack. An equal measure of bravery and insanity fuels your attack, and you lash out at the creature. A will roll, please. Roll 2 extra dice if you have suffered 3 or more horror.
Oh. Then I roll 1 extra die then. 2 extra
2
dice.
extra dice.
Yeah.
Giving
I'm
you
gonna
1,
start that one.
2 successes, which is what the creature suffers, putting it up to 7. It lives.
I'm gonna do it again.
As you wish.
2 hit point.
Not confident in your ability to avoid the creature in a prolonged fight, you charge it head on, hoping to injure it before it can react. An agility roll, please. 2 is a success.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch another clue. That's fine.
You pass. Luck is on your side. You connect a few quick strikes. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result plus 1 and dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Now I've got the fire to worry about. Don't worry.
Indeed.
I'll handle it. You guys can go on without me.
The fire spreads out of control. Place fire in a space adjacent to a space containing fire. So let us consult. Let us consult the cards. The fire spreads to the second space. So what is this one here?
We going clockwise?
Indeed. The investigator with the lowest observation feels a gnawing urgency at the back of their mind. Let's see. 4, 3, and 3. So a tie between Mr. Richards and Ms. Barnes. Let's see. 1 and 2. Mr. Wilson and Ms. Barnes, please draw a card each.
Jenny is a beautiful person.
And I'm afraid
Hot.
Mr. Richards. Ignoring their colleagues, they sprint through the mansion before coming to a stop and fearfully realizing the panicked thoughts they felt were not their own. Mr. Barnes moves as indicated, having sprinted into an inferno.
Ouch.
Oh, at least you can help put out the fire. See? That's the positive.
Investigators, it
So
is
I
your
saw-
turn.
Your what, mate?
Do I suffer damage?
You do not.
Oh, I thrust to the fire. Okay.
First, investigator, please.
First,
Okay, hold on. I think it might be best if well,
No?
let me put out the fire first, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Very well, an
All right,
agility
I'm gonna do
roll,
an agility roll.
please. You may
Hey,
extinguish
all right.
2
2
flames
successes.
this turn.
So 1, and then I'm gonna move straight into this fire, which will get rid of this fire, and I'm gonna keep
Hello?
moving up north, and then I'm gonna give Wilson a free movement.
I'm gonna go this way.
All right,
What?
check the blanket.
Do you want me to do the classic Scooby-Doo move and see?
Of
Yes,
course.
let's find out who the frightened child was all along. So, it seems Charlie is awaiting rescue from the sinister house in the flimsy hiding place. You may pull the sheets aside as an action.
I have a feeling that it won't be Charlie. I will reveal the blanket.
As you wish. You approach the cloth shelter. Your relief you should be feeling unnervingly absent. A nagging fear had been gnawing at your mind since you entered the mansion, and it grows more prevalent with every step. Finally, you pull the sheets aside, and your heart drops. Charlie is inside. You estimate he's been dead for several days. Based on the evidence you've gathered, it seems like Charlie had been locked in his room by his father, but escaped via the dumbwaiter and the attic. Then Sutcliffe found Charlie and chased him back to the attic with the axe. When Charlie locked himself inside, Sutcliffe set upon the door with the axe, either attempting to chop it down or deliberately barricade it. Either way, Sutcliffe fell down the stairs shortly after, and the poor boy starved. Suffer 2 horror. Will negates.
This is a pretty depressing scenario.
Yeah, well, I apologise if you
it's
thought
really
this would all
dark.
go very well.
Face up or face down?
Face up. Oh my.
Drop
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
came
mean-
here for a Disney story, so I'm fine.
Finding a
Well,
dead
both of them, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they're both.
So I drop them in the room? Yeah, okay.
Seeing the dead kid shocks you so much you dropped your stuff.
Mm.
I mean, it's
Understandable.
logical.
After everything that happened tonight, you're only slightly startled when you see the spectral form of Charlie standing at your side, staring remorsefully at the body. We weren't playing hide and seek, he tells himself, a fearful quiver in his quiet, echoing voice. He'd been really angry for a while, even before Mum left, but then he got worse. He turned into a monster. The house creaks and groans under the duress of the storm, and as if in response, and Charlie's form flickers as though jumping in alarm. He's still here! He's coming for us! He could still hurt me! Charlie's form fades away and the storm intensifies. The entire house shakes on its foundations, threatening to tear itself from the hilltop. If you don't put a stop to this soon, you'll be buried alive by collapsing rubble. After what you read in the library, you feel confident in your knowledge of what's happening and how to put a stop to it. The Sutcliffe Manor is a place of great sadness, anger, and fear, a veritable cauldron of negative emotions just waiting to manifest as a mania wraith upon Charlie and Mr. Sutcliffe's death. And nothing represented those collective emotions better than the axe with which Mr. Sutcliffe attempted to murder his son. The investigation will end once the front door has been chopped down and the axe cast away, at which point you're confident the agitated spirits will calm themselves and move on. Place an interact token as indicated. Next, investigator, please.
That was my first action.
I beg your pardon, your second action then, please.
Is it one action to pick up both items?
Correct.
Or only one?
Both
Okay.
items.
So yeah,
Yeah, you can grab them both.
I'll grab them. So can you please remind us what were the effects of the axe and how to
Whenever
avoid,
picking up or trading or moving while holding the axe, all investigators on the axe's space may pool their energies to resist Sutcliffe's influence.
We may want to reconvene.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I think I can get to the axe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. But then would I chase you? I was just thinking, is it worth just everybody going to the front and then letting me pick up the axe, get possessed, and run towards you?
we'll need to trade the axe, right?
You know, hold up. I feel if we all went into the same space with the axe and then somebody picked it up, I think something would happen where we could try to completely negate the possession in the first place. That's what I'm hearing.
Seems like it.
But I also think that if we all reconvene here and one of us gets the axe, well, that's a guaranteed possession. And we'd have to beat the possession.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave the one that holds the axe by him or herself.
I think we can all get there, actually. 1, 2, 3.
I can also give an extra movement to someone.
Yeah.
So
1,
So-
2, 3. I can go there also. I'm close enough.
Very well. Would any of you care to nominate yourself to go first?
Well, I'm gonna go give a hand to whoever is gonna take the axe. So I move for space there.
If I go last, but Leo, you give me the move, I can actually pick it up with my second action.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody else can actually pick it up with their second action.
I'll just move
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to room 2, 3, 4, and give that person the movement.
Okay, and then Jenny, you going to come and join us?
Yes.
Very well, Ms. Barnes.
Yeah.
It's not a group hug, but
Oh, yes.
almost.
You've
Ms.
got the track
Barnes
shoes, haven't you? So
has
you
the
move
track
6 in
shoes, so she
total.
can join you
Yeah.
in the office.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Very well, please move your investigator as you see fit.
One,
Everyone in a
2,
small room.
3, 4, 5.
What could go wrong?
I know, right?
Indeed. Now, Ms. Baker.
1, 2, and then against my better judgment, I shall pick it up.
Very well, the axe.
Basically, we're going to be your feather to this realm.
So it would seem.
Well,
Now let's see. Items, axe. Whenever the axe is picked up, traded, or a movement action is concluded, you must fight off Sutcliffe as he seeks a new host. You hold your own mind close as Sutcliffe's hateful thoughts attempt to invade. All investigators in your space make a will roll and combine their result. Investigators may only use
Yay.
items and clues on their own dice.
2.
1, 2, 4,
Two.
6. It is 6 so
I'm
far.
going to re-roll.
Well,
And I've got a
7 in total. As intense as Sutcliffe's hateful thoughts are, you manage to keep your mind.
Yes.
Which I believe takes us to our Mythos phase.
Can we wait with that?
I beg your pardon?
Can we wait?
Can you wait?
And yeah, like bathroom break right now?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes, we have been playing for
Oh, yes.
2 hours, so yes, we will now take a brief intermission. It is now 5 minutes past the hour. Let's reconvene at 15 minutes past the hour.
Thank you.
Okay.
Then
Thank you. See you then.
I'll be right back then.
Bye.
see you all then.
minutes. Then he walks back to his pillow.
Welcome back,
5
everyone.
types of bones.
Right, so as I was saying, the storm outside worsens still, as if responding to Charlie's mental state. A blinding bolt of lightning strikes the house. All investigators who are not in the hallway become dazed. So I'm afraid everyone is now dazed. I'll hand out the dazed cards.
You really like those lightning strikes.
This is often a common sign of supernatural occurrences. Now, first investigator, please.
Okay. Well, we only have. What was this interact token again?
You have a feeling that a sudden. Oh, hang on. Yes, you must chop down the door with the axe and cast it aside to end the paranormal goings on.
Okay.
I was just thinking, yeah, if Leo moves and moves Agnes 1, I can then get. I won't be able to do it this turn, but I can use my 2 movement to be there.
I'll move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and whoever wants it, You can have it.
I was just thinking, because I've got the axe, it probably makes sense for me to
It's best
have the
if
one.
you get it then.
Very well, yes,
Then I
I'll
can
just...
go 1, 2, 3,
One
4. So
moment, please. Ending your first movement action here must be followed by an attempt to resist the allure of the axe.
Oh.
Oh, did we want everybody else to? Oops.
I would say somebody else should move first and then be at the same spot, maybe.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes a lot.
yeah. So that you guys can.
Stop. What if I give him my shoes so he can run faster? With the axe? Like, don't run with scissors, but running with an axe is fine.
Now, is it specifically in this spot, or was
I
it
think
after?
it's where I would after I make a move action. I think wherever I am.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that the shoes might be a
upon
good idea.
concluding a movement action, although it may be worth noting that since Agnes is 4 spaces away from the interact token, that is 2 movement actions either way.
Yeah. No difference there. No big difference there.
Okay. Just asking.
So, why don't you guys move up ahead and be here? And then Agnes moves, and then you guys try and, resist together.
Okay.
Very well.
What about Agatha?
Agatha and Agnes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Very well, and
Well-
Ms. Baker.
I'll go 1, 2, and let's see if we can all resist just the 3 of us.
Very well. You hold your own mind close as Suckless hateful thoughts attempt to invade. Ms. Baker, Ms. Barnes, Mr. Richards, please make will rolls.
Oh,
So that doesn't include Crane.
I'm gonna use.
You're all dazed.
Yes, you may not.
Can I use?
You may not spend clue
Yeah, but
tokens.
You can use
You
focus
may
though.
spend
No.
focused. Yes.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Equaling what? Ms. Baker, I believe you've already rolled.
I flipped my lucky ring.
Ah, I see. So a total of 3 then, I believe. And I do think
Does
you had
that include
already.
Agatha Crane?
I had 3. Success.
Yes, no, Agatha
All by
Crane is on a
myself.
different space. So 3 in total. As hard as you try, you are unable to resist the overbearing presence of the furious wraith. Remove your investigator and replace them with the thrall. Let's see. Yes, Ms. Baker.
Darn.
Yes, I'm afraid Mr. Sutcliffe is back. And that was the last.
Oh, you can Mr. Suck this. We're gonna get him back.
Quite. The entire house shakes as it's bombarded by the wind. A ceiling beam comes loose and falls. Leo Anderson suffers 2 damage. Strength negates.
Ew.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. My days should be gone because I finished my turn. So.
Yes, no one is
I
dazed
got
anymore.
4 successes. I'll be fine.
And yes, you have successfully endured the falling beam. The possessed investigator attacks the investigator in their space with the highest strength out of Mr. Barnes and Mr. Richards. Which is Mr. Richards, yes. The possessed investigator swings the axe at you, but you catch it by the handle and engage in a test of strength. Make a strength roll, please. 2 is a success. Success.
Oh,
You heave the axe from your friend's grip and manage to let go of it before you share your friend's fate. Remove the thrall and replace them with the formerly possessed investigator, and place the axe on their space. So congratulations, that was a very brief possession.
So it's better not me to take the axe since I have the highest strength. And a low will.
And
Don't
there is
wanna
no
get
horror
possessed.
steps, so Investigators, your turn once again.
Well, Agatha has 2 strength. I don't know if it matters.
So
Well,
who's
before-
taking the axe?
Before we do anything, I'm gonna move in there, and then Agatha, go ahead and move into our space.
Oh.
Now, who wants to pick up the axe? Well, I mean, it's still my action.
It's still your action, yeah.
You know, I might as well see it through. I'll take the axe. You guys, come on,
Very
let's
well then.
let's struggle
Wait,
together.
stop.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
pick up the axe and I can run 3 spaces then. I
Well, we
don't,
need to-
don't need to.
Yeah, I was just thinking we only need to move 2, so I
That's
think
fine.
yeah. Leo, do you know, instead of moving up, should you move? Yeah, because we all need to use it together, don't we? You were right to go there, I think, or should you go to the bottom? Yeah, maybe if you go down,
I'll go
Yeah.
down. I'll go down. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then everybody else, whoever's going to pick it up goes last. And everybody else moves.
Yeah. So
No,
everyone,
no, stop. Sorry, when we pick it up, we have to do a save, don't we? Rather than, is that right? Sorry, don't. Is it when we
I
pick
think
it up?
I think it was a save. I think it was a save last
Correct.
time.
Upon picking up the axe, you must resist the bombardment.
Yeah.
Who has the highest will?
I mean, it's all our collective will since we're all in the same space, but you do it too.
Yeah. So
So
I was thinking, do we want
Yeah,
to move
the-
one person
the only-
down to where Leo is?
the-
Do we have
Yeah,
2 at the lobby?
The only problem with Leo going up instead of down is that he won't be able to move the axe unless he tries it, and we'll do it again,
Yeah.
right?
I'll wait here.
Yeah, better idea.
I'll
Very
wait
well.
here.
Next
your-
investigator, please.
Okay.
So I think one of us should probably move down, and then because we'll then have 3 in the square picking it up, and if whoever picks it up then moves down, we'll have 3 there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Who should pick it up? Depends on what stance. Agatha has the lowest strength and 4 of will. Will of 4.
I mean,
Unless you want me to pick the axe because I have the highest strength to bash the door in.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm
we'll
happy
do
with
it.
that. One of us should move down first though before we pick it up. So we've got 2 at the bottom. So I'm
No.
happy to. Because what I mean is when you pick it up and then move down, it's just going to be you and Leo at the bottom.
Okay. So I pick up the axe.
Or shall I let Agnes move down? So there's 3 of you there, and then 3 of you here. Oh no, somebody's moved. Sorry, who's that? That's Jenny. Yeah, pick up the axe. Sorry, I'll keep quiet.
Okay, let's
Very
try this.
well.
Pick up.
So,
And
Mr.
can I
Richards
wait?
picks up.
Can I trade this to someone else?
This is a trade action, so yes, you may pass any number of your items to anyone else.
Okay. So who's with me now? Fresh meat and pasta monkey. Okay. Fresh meat. In case I go insane and bash on you, take this. I don't want to kill you. And there you go.
Very well. Now, as I was saying, you now resist the allure of Sutcliffe's control. So, Miss Crane, Miss Baker, and Mr. Richards, please make will rolls. See, that is
I'm going to flip my lucky ring.
2, 3.
I'm using a clue.
That is 3 so far. Oof, 4.
Or
Will it be enough, though? As intense as Sutcliffe's hateful thoughts are, you manage to keep your mind.
woohoo!
Yay!
All right.
Your second action, please, Ms. Crane. Oh, I beg your pardon, Mr. Richards.
To the door.
And as you have completed a movement action, there will now be a
Oh, sorry.
second
Sorry.
will check. So, Mr. Richards, Mr. Anderson, and Ms. Barnes, please roll for your will.
Oh,
Ms. Barnes.
Don't.
Ms. Barnes, a will roll, please.
Ruff! Wake up!
Don't.
Sorry,
This
dog.
This
Roll
dice
three.
is like on the side.
Hmm.
And one die on the side.
See, that is
So I spent all my clues, so I got 3.
I got 2.
very well,
I
and
got 2.
it's also got 2 for a total of 7. And of course, you resist Sutcliffe's influence. And now I believe Ms. Baker and Ms. Crane still have an action.
Come
That's
on.
correct.
Let's go. Let's slam this door.
King, only the one with the axe can use.
I know, that's fine. I know, but I meant collectively. I meant collectively.
Very well then.
So...
Wispy white light surrounds Wilson Richards. Charlie's echoing voice cries, "You need to move before he gets you!" The light fades, and Richards has vanished. Move Mr. Richards as indicated. Oh dear. That was rather unfortunate.
Summoning!
Oh, I almost swore there when he moved. No.
Well, poor old Charlie, only trying to help. Now, first investigator, please.
Okay, summon him.
Very well. Ms. Barnes, summon...
Yes.
Very well, yes.
Summon.
Summoning another investigator. You rip open another aperture and pull your colleague through. Place another investigator on your space.
Why would I do that?
Because he's got the axe. Please, Miles, please.
He's not here.
Okay, I'll do it.
Very magnanimous of you.
He asked nicely. It
And
really worked.
once again, you strain yourself to resist thinking about the infinity of the cosmos. Another lore roll, please.
For all of us?
No.
No.
Oh.
You can't bear to think about the infinite realms that make up reality for a second longer and purge the dark secrets from your mind lest you go insane. Suffer 2 face-down horror and discard the summoning spell.
So why exactly didn't I do my action first?
That was your action.
Yeah, but I had it my action first. Like, I could have gotten a clue.
You could still do that.
Yes.
But I could have
She would-
used it. For
Well, the simple answer for that is that you did not tell me you wished to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Face down horror.
Correct.
Well, I'll use my action to remove a horror.
As you wish.
I'll shuffle it. That one is gone. And I get 2 clues. This was a stupid turn.
Well,
So, you could have
next.
spent a clue to save that summoning spell?
Yeah, well, at least I could have gotten a higher one, yeah.
Next investigator, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna bash the door.
Very well. You have a feeling that a sudden violent motion will only intensify the axe's hold over you. You had best chop the door down in one try, or risk getting possessed again. Chopping down the door as an action. Resisting the mental intrusion of the axe as best you can, you swing the tool overhead and bring it down upon the door. Make a strength test.
Fingers crossed.
Ooh. The axe bites into the door, sending chunks of rotten wood flying, but you don't breach it yet. The malign energy of the axe surges like venom through your arm. All investigators on your space make a will roll.
Through the power of friendship, come on!
Indeed.
Oh darn.
It is 3 in total. Ms. Barnes, please make a will roll. I'll just make it for her, shall I? It is a total of 4. There's Ms. Barnes wishes to spend her clue token.
Please. Please.
Yes, I will do it. I mean, that's why I got them in the first place.
Very well, 5 in total. You fortify your constitution and resist the overwhelming presence. Your second action, please.
Break it
I
again.
bashed the door again.
Another strength roll, please.
Come on. 5. All 5. Come on.
Come on.
Oof, not quite. With a mighty crack, the door breaks to pieces. Before the axe can take hold of your mind, you step through the door and throw it with all your strength. Your heart is in your throat for several seconds until, mercifully, the creaking of the house begins to quiet and the roaring storm very gradually begins to calm. You're not looking forward to calling Mrs. Lockwood. You can't imagine how she'll react to the terrible news you have to impart. Your one solace, if only for yourself, is that no one else will ever have to suffer the horrors you witnessed in this ghoulish house. The investigation is complete.
Yeah, boy!
Congratulations, investigators. You may have been too late to save young Charlie, but you have saved yourselves.
Well,
Yay.
Indeed.
so what were the trigger warnings exactly? Because I didn't see any.
Well, some people don't take kindly to the news of parental abuse or murder.
Or, you know, a dead kid, you know.
Yes, can be
Right.
upsetting to some.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
It did. I mean, it was quite good actually because it did feel a bit deflating because we'd done all these things with him, and then it was like, oh, he's dead. It was really good.
He's
Hmm.
dead.
Well, I'm glad you
Happy
enjoyed the
dad.
news that the child has died.
No, but it had some emotional resonance.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you've all enjoyed
It felt a little bit
yourself.
short.
Yes, well, that's what happened, I'm
I liked
afraid.
it. It's
Yeah.
because
It's not like we were on the time. We were playing for like 6 hours.
Yes, that's been one of the shorter investigations. However,
Yeah.
these are factual reenactments of history, of course, so there's not really much I can do about that.
Like-
an awesome team.
You could mess with time.
I suppose I could, yes, although...
We already tried messing with like putting us in random spaces, so.
Well, at any rate, I'm glad you've all enjoyed yourself and survived this ordeal. And I will see you all at the next investigation, hopefully. Until then, investigators, farewell. And, yes, I hope you have all enjoyed yourselves too. So head on over to the Mansions of Madness Discord server if you wish to join our next investigation. And I will see you then. Best wishes and good night.